Alrighty, YouTube, it's your boy Zxous, and we are back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. I think this is going to be the last video we do for Anise today, and then obviously tomorrow we're going to be doing all those crazy videos of her and just different team comps and stuff like that. Obviously her against bosses throughout the entire week and stuff like that. So make sure you guys subscribe. We're actually like 7 subs away from 4.9, and that's only 100 away from 5,000. So if you know any of these videos are entertaining or helpful for you guys, obviously your boy's going to be doing a showcase of Anise with everybody she works with, right? So make sure you guys subscribe and stay tuned. So we're on the homie Malcolm's account. I told y'all boys, your boy was going to do a showcase with Scarlet, right? I'm going to put away my pride. I don't like using Scarlet because I don't own her, but I'm going to have to put away my pride for this one. Obviously, I think Anise is a fantastic character, right? I think Anise is a fantastic character, right? She actually plays as a DPS or a support, so a sub DPS really, and she does a great job as it. She actually does so much damage as a DPS, but she's actually supporting electric type units as well with her first skill, which is actually 6 levels, level 6, 4 and 4 from Malcolm here. So there's that, right? So when we enter a full burst, Scarlet will be getting an attack buff of 45.25% of Anise's attack. So just slightly under half there, which is what I want to say, maybe like around like 14k, 13k maybe. Yeah, 14 or 13k. That's how much attack Scarlet will be getting. And then also reload, which Scarlet does need, right? It's a very, very good comp here, right? And then obviously Scarlet herself is doing mad numbers as well, because if you look at her first skill, she increases her own attack by a 23.50%. And that stacks up to 5 times and lasts for 5 seconds, right? So you kind of want reload there as well. It's all going to work well together. Let's go ahead into shooting range. And we're going to be also trying it out in Blacksmith, right? So stay tuned, right? We're going to do one showcase right here in shooting range and then one in Blacksmith. Now, who do I expect to hit harder here? You would think Scarlet, right? But I've seen a lot of people and a lot of videos of Anise hitting harder than Scarlet in shooting range, which I guess makes sense, right? Because technically it should be Scarlet even when you use her burst skill, right? But we're gonna see here, right? So I would like to say, well, I know that Malcolm's, Scarlet is more invested than his Anise, obviously, right? So if Anise, he just pulled Anise and just leveled her up just now, just for me, yo. So shout outs to you, Malcolm, right? Shout outs to Malcolm indeed, right? But you could see how much damage there, right? 14 million off rip because of burst skill and everything. She's going crazy, right? And obviously Scarlet is just above Anise because she used her burst skill first, so 20 million, 7 million from Anise. But once we get to, that burst skill from Anise, she should just be doing as much, right? So we're going to see now, right? It's a very nice burst skill. I actually like it more than I thought I would. But yeah, now 1 bullet, 2 bullet. Well, it's 2 because of litter, and then it's going to go to 1 here. So you can kind of see now, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And then she's going up there, 16 million, right? So yeah, I think it's because Scarlet probably went first. I think that's probably why people are seeing Anise harder than Scarlet or other way around in a thing, because when you use her burst skill first, she gets the advantage there. But I think if we were to switch it around with Anise, Anise would have the advantage there. That's just my thoughts on it, right? I don't know. I don't own Scarlet. Hey, I don't know. I don't own Scarlet, but we'll take a look. We'll go again in here, obviously with Scarlet, like at the second burst too, right? But this team works well, right? You have Litter, Rupee, Anise, and Privity buffing up Scarlet, and Scarlet is buffing up herself, and then they're all actually buffing up Anise as well, right? And remember, when Scarlet uses her burst skill, she is actually dealing 313.76% of final attack as damage, so that's all buffed up attack and all that stuff included as well, right? So you could quite see, but let's take a look here. So at the end there, right, she got the last bullet out, like the last hit there too, literally last second. So I expect her to be, wow, okay. Well, I didn't mean to, Malcolm, but hey, you went up by 2 ranks. But yeah, 89 million and then 38 million, right? That's a sub DPS, by the way. Not to mention, again, Malcolm's Anise, he just pulled Anise and then put her in synchro device and just leveled her up. He just pulled Anise, so not even invested at all, no gear leveled up like that. And I can show you guys, right, if you guys think I'm, joking. Literally, he just pulled her. Look, this is the gear he's rocking, right? Level, that's just it, and then the cube, right? That's it. But then this is Scarlet's gear. Ammo capacity, crit rate, ammo capacity, crit rate, hit rate, attack percent, right? So you can kind of see their dupes in there. Level 24 bond. This is level 5 bond. Oh, one dupe too, actually. And then, yeah, so you kind of see there. But let me switch it around and put Anise first and see what happens there, right? Is it because she went first or what? And now after this, we're going to take them into Blacksmith and see how well they do against bosses and stuff like that. Should be good, right? I think as a sub DPS, Anise is a fantastic character. Honestly, she's like the prime definition of a sub DPS. She's supporting and doing damage, but she does a lot of damage. That's what like is so crazy, right? So after the first, like, let's wait for after this first full burst rotation. Right, so it's 2 shots right now because obviously the first 5 seconds we litter, and then one. Not really critting much, but okay, wait. Okay, yeah, so 10 million, 11 million from Scarlet and Anise, right? So you can kind of see how well that's going there. And again, this is a barely upgraded Anise whatsoever. This Scarlet is invested into. So it's quite insane. It's really insane to see how good this character is, right? So let's wait for this full burst now because we just used Scarlet's burst, and then 32 million and 17 million, which is half or a bit more than half there, right? Which is crazy, right? And then again, every time we use her burst skill, I think she should probably just catch up in damage. We'll see right now. But she should probably just catch up in damage, right? So yeah, that's just hitting, critting, and that's going to 2 enemies, bro. That's crazy. And then boom, yeah, so 29 and then 40 million, basically 30 million, 46 million. Yeah, pretty good as a sub DPS. It's pretty good. Would I say she's better than Scarlet? Obviously not. I think I've seen some people say that Anise is better than Scarlet, but for right now on day 1, especially since Scarlet has been in the game since like day 1, right? I don't think I can automatically just say Anise is better than Scarlet. I honestly don't think she is as of right now. And that probably won't change if you want my honest opinion, but you know, we'll wait. It's just day 1 of Anise's release. But remember, Scarlet's been on the game since literally day 1 as well. So yeah, now boom, boom, boom. And let's take a look at the final damage overall, right? But even still, like, total damage 148 million. Wait, that's what Anise is bringing to the thing, right? Let's see. 38 million and 75 million. If I actually, let me pull up a calculator, right? Let me see. What is half of 75? Divided by 2, it's 37 million. So yeah, literally just a bit over half of Scarlet's damage, which is insane, right? For a sub DPS, that's quite insane. Remember, all that damage is only coming from Anise's second skill. You gotta remember that, right? All this damage is really coming from her second skill. Yes, she's doing damage on her normal attack as well, but it's all really coming from that second skill, which is at what, 278.12%. It's quite insane. So let's go to not Gravedigger, I think it's Blacksmith. Let's go to Blacksmith, right, and try it out there and see what's happening. So let me just build a team and I'll be back. So yeah, here we go. Malcolm, I'll put your things back together at the end, don't worry. But yeah, this is like, look at this. Remember, Scarlet has 48,000, Anise has 36,000 attack. So Scarlet has 12,000 more attack, and she has 2 dupes, attraction. Like, the comparison, right, really is when you really like compare 2 characters and it's like a massive like benefit to one and then like a massive disadvantage to another, but it's looking very good, then you can tell the character is good, right? I need to test the Scarlet that's fully invested and an Anise that's fully invested, and then also an Anise and Scarlet that are not invested, just fresh off the boat, just pulled just now, right? But here it's only 1 enemy, so Scarlet shouldn't be jumping up in terms of damage that much. Now, I probably shouldn't have done that, right? I probably should have waited. It's on auto, right? It's on auto, so there's that as well. I need a healer on this team, though, as well, right? So there's another thing, actually, with Anise. If you're bringing Privity, you don't really have room for, you know? Let me just... Okay, she died there because Sting, but... Let me retry that, right? The thing is, if you bring Privity with Anise... and then you bring Scarlet, that's already 3 burst 3. So your burst 1 has to probably be like Mary, the Summer Mary, because you need a healer for Scarlet, really. So let me just wait on this. Okay, well, okay. You can keep attacking there, and then we could do that. Put it back on thing. And then we could like block. So yeah, we'll just do that. It's very good though, right? She's still doing quite good. Let's go for the core and give you know, her even more advantage. Scarlet more advantage, right? Boom, boom. And then that doesn't really do damage unless... Okay. See, so Scarlet's about to die, bro. She's about to die. But now she's, let me see something. 20 million and 3 million, right? And we just used her burst skill, I think. We just used Anise's burst skill. Okay. Okay, we're good. Yeah, we're good. And then, let me see. So the damage there is clearly different. 6 million from Anise. Let me see something. Okay, Scarlet died. The damage is insanely different here. It's a big difference here. Now let me just go on the Anise real quick and see. Because their bullets are connecting, but it's only, what, 5k? It's not really much there on the normal attack. And then remember, like I said, she only really does damage on her burst skill. Or, like, from when you use her burst skill, specifically. Okay, like, we're going to need a healer, for sure. Right? Because she's not landing much damage on the normal attack. And then we are now entering her full burst. Wait, so how much is she at beforehand? So she's at 2 million now. And then with her thing, when her last bullet hits there... How much numbers is she doing? So this is all just connecting, hitting. All this is just hitting. Okay, well, she's dead. And then it went from 2 million to 6 million. I mean, now she's like half of Scarlet's damage, right? And then remember, that also goes off every time the numbers do go down, right? It's not only when you're with Scarlet, but there's that as well. So, I think she's going to be good for Gravedigger as well. You got to remember, she also has other mechanics that I'd never really talk about because it's not, you know, I don't think, what boss is, it's not a water boss. Is Blacksmith a water boss? Enemy info. Weak to water, to fire boss. But yeah, like we have more with this character as well, right? There's obviously the damage and strong element, and then also the damage to interruption parts. So those are never really shown, obviously, and not at least until Gravedigger. I feel like I'll show off the interruption part with Gravedigger, and then whatever boss is water, I'll show off that strong element. But honestly, she's a great character, right? She's a great character. Very good as a sub DPS. Scarlet's best friend, right? I mean, we can actually do one more test. Like 2 more tests, I guess. Let me do 2 more tests. So I'm going to actually just skip to the end there. I'm just going to skip to the end of the test. So before we get to the damage thing, I also want to note, I just realized the reason why she was probably doing less damage in Blacksmith is because, remember, her second skill goes to 2 enemies, right? So when there's 1 enemy, her damage is basically halved, right? So she's really better, Anise I'm talking about right now. Anise is really better with mobs, clearly, right? Like at least more than 1 enemy, because then her damage will, you know, show, right? If it's just 1 solo enemy, she will only be doing half of the damage for, you know, half the total damage for her second skill. But if we look here with Anise, obviously it's still half there. But it is 83 million with Anise. I'm going to cut to when we've used Scarlet without Anise to see how much the difference is. So yeah, literally the same thing happened with Haran, because I did use Haran before I did this showcase. But when you don't use these Electro characters with Anise, you're losing big damage, right? Scarlet averaged 82 to 87 million damage with Anise, and without Anise, it's what? Down by 10 million damage, right? Like, it's quite insane. So, because obviously, yes, you are getting an attack buff, but you gotta realize reload speed is actually enhancing damage as well too. Not like in terms of the damage output, but obviously if I'm reloading faster, I'm doing more attacks. That's enhancing my damage in total, right? So there's a big jump of what Anise is doing for these Electro girls instead of just like, you know, the attack buff. She's doing way more, obviously. So it's a very, very good combo, right? Anise and any Electro girl is literally like Shaq and Kobe, Jordan and Pippen. It's as clear as day that Anise and Scarlet, hey, they're crazy. But Anise, like, I highly recommend, if you're watching all these showcases, find a way to get this character. Please do it. Because when she goes, she goes. right? Remember, this entire showcase was literally a non-invested Anise compared to an invested Scarlet. So take it or leave it, right? Take it for what it is. The numbers you guys seen, more than half of Scarlet's damage non-invested. Scarlet invested, right? Take it or leave it. Take it how you see it, really. But I think Anise is a fantastic character. I did put a poll out, and a lot of people are saying she's SS tier. And honestly, I do think I see her around that area. So you guys definitely let me know what tier and ranking you guys would put Anise, or you can go to my community post and just vote there. Let me know your thoughts on Anise. And again, this is going to be the final video for today, unless something crazy comes up. But tomorrow I will have, starting from tomorrow, there will be all those like those crazy combination showcases on the channel. So subscribe and like if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out later. Peace.